Welcome to The Deciding Point, our Cracked Racquets weekly roundup of the biggest storylines happening throughout the tennis world. On this week's show, I want to talk about Rafael Nadal capturing his 12th title in Barcelona, continuing to prove he is the man to beat on the clay courts. I want to talk about Ash Barty, very much showing why she is deserving of that number one ranking in the world. Of course, I also want to touch on Jenson Brooksby winning another challenger title, the action that happened at the 250 level, and then a little bit of college tennis news as well. With that in mind, Westhoff, roll those credits, and let's start today's show. Let's talk now about Ash Barty, who earned another title here in 2021 as she captures the title in Stuttgart this past week. For Barty, you look since the start of the 2019 season, she is 79-17 overall in her WTA Tour level events. That's an 82% win percentage. And to contextualize, we did some podcasts last summer looking at some of the best seasons in either ATP or WTA Tour history, and it's a lot of the names you would expect. People like Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal on the men's side, people like Serena Williams, Venus Williams, Justine Henin of late, Monica Seles, if you want to go back to the early 90s. We looked at all of them, and typically those players in the prime of their careers, they're putting together seasons where they're winning 80 to 85% of their matches, winning multiple titles, reaching multiple finals. That's exactly what Ash Barty has done since the start of the 2019 season. Obviously, her crowning achievement, that 2019 French Open, but you look here, even just this season, she wins the Masters or the 1000 level title, in Miami. She now follows that up with another title on a different surface. We go from slow outdoor hard courts to fast indoor clay courts in Stuttgart. Doesn't matter. Barty's able to capture the title, and of course, I mentioned this in my Rafa section. Barty is one of only 6 women to rank in the top 16 in both hold percentage and break percentage as well. You look at that list on the women's side since the start of the the last 52 weeks since the tour restarted in August. Here's the list of players to rank in the top 16. It's Elisa Mertens, who was your WTA Tour wins leader back in 2020. It's Iga Swiatek, who of course captured a French Open title. Aryna Sabalenka, who was spectacular this weekend. By the way, Aryna Sabalenka, 35-11 now since the tour resumed in August. 10 of her 11 results. Let me repeat that. 10 of her 11 losses have been 3-set losses. The majority of those 11, I think it's 9 of the 11, have come against players ranked in the top 15 at the time of the match. I believe the other 2 are against players who are now inside the top 15 of the WTA rankings. But it didn't matter the sort of power that Ash Barty had thrown at her by Sabalenka. It didn't matter the consistency, the movement of the ball, the exceptional placement and precision of Alina Svitolina the round before. None of that mattered for Ash Barty, even the overwhelming power of, any of her opponents this week, because she was able to, Karolina Pliskova was the name I was looking for earlier. She was just able to play first strike tennis. She's so effective with that first serve. It makes sense that she's a top 16 player in terms of holding serve. She's also just so efficient at getting returns deep in the center of the court and getting the point back to neutral. And then eventually you're going to have to hit a ball onto her forehand wing. And from there, she's going to turn defense into offense, whether it's down the line, whether it's beating you to the spot, going short angle, or drive cross court. Her two-handed backhand continues to get better and better. And I thought the best thing she did this week on the clay was use that two-handed backhand on the return of serve to ensure that the point could get to neutral, to not let Svitolina Sabalenka just tee off on first and play first strike tennis. Ash Barty was sensational this week, and again, you look for her since the start of the 2019 season clay court results specifically. She's 17-3, winning 85% of her matches. Her hold percentages, break percentages stay relatively similar, if not improve by about a percentage point or 2. She is, by every metric, and has been the most consistent, player in the world since 2019. You can pencil her in pretty much into the quarterfinals, semifinals of any event she plays. And in my opinion, right alongside of Simona Halep, those are your two co-favorites entering the French Open. I think Muguruza, absolutely a threat. Iga Swiatek, after what she did last year, we're all going to be watching out for her level. But you look over the course of time, and by the way, Tennis Abstract's ELO ratings, Halep's the number 1 clay court player, Swiatek's number 2, Barty's number 3. That's accurate, folks. Those 3 players with their clay court results over these past, really, 3 seasons, they deserve and do stand to be ranked that high and do stand out above the rest of the field. Now, the conditions in Stuttgart are going to be nothing like the conditions in Paris, but you watch Ashley Barty again, how well-rounded her game is. She was exceptional this week in Stuttgart. So was Aryna Sabalenka, as I mentioned earlier. So was Svitolina, who's quietly been as consistent as anyone not named Ashley Barty, probably since 2014 in the women's game. And, again, Simona Halep was right there. Sabalenka just played her best ball in the semifinals. It was a fascinating week of results, but more importantly, we saw a lot of the top women in the game play their best tennis this week in Stuttgart. And if that's the case in Paris as well, it will be a phenomenal ending to the 2021 women's clay court season.